In this video, I'm going to share with you how I hacked the algorithms and gained over 1,000 followers per day. But more importantly, I'm going to share with you how I turned them followers into monetization in my deal sourcing business that allows me to live on my terms. At the moment, I'm in Center Parks and I'm creating content right now, just as I'm walking back to my lodge, that allows me to still earn money in my business while living a lifestyle on my terms. Because let's face it, there are plenty of influencers out there that hack the algorithms also, but do not know how to monetize that. Lots of people dancing online, getting millions of views, millions of followers, in some cases tens of thousands of followers, but do not monetize that. So it's just basically a vanity, I can never pronounce that, but it's just for vanity. So I'm going to give you 3 different ways you can turn your attention and views into currency with a deal sourcing business. But before we get into that, please do me a massive favor and hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. So I'll share with you the 3 things that you can do to hack the algorithms, and then I'll go into each one of those in depth in a moment. But number 1 is parallelization. Number 2, I stumbled across by accident, but that is making mistakes. And number 3, the most powerful of them all, is short form content. And make sure you hang around to the end, because I'll share with you the number 1 mistake that people starting out trying to find investors to sell their deals to, and experienced people trying to sell deals do, on their content that is sabotaging their reach and the quality of investors that they're getting. So let's start in reverse with these. Let's start with short form content. This is the single most powerful thing you can do in your deal sourcing business to drive it forward. It is the gateway to open up your opportunities. Don't get me wrong, there's a place for long form content like here that you're watching at the moment, like YouTube. But the first part of this is awareness. And if you want to drive people into your deal sourcing business or any business, it starts with that awareness. If you don't understand deal sourcing, make sure you watch this video here or here. I can't remember what side that's going to be on. That will also be in the descriptions if you want to carry on watching now. But if you're eager to find out what deal sourcing is and come back to this, jump to that now. But no matter what the business you're doing, these same principles work. And I'll talk about the CDM, Content Delta Matrix. You'll see this on the screen now. And what everything starts with is awareness. So at the bottom of the Delta Matrix, you've got awareness. Above that's engagement. Above that is conversion. And we'll come back to the conversion part of it and how you send people through that towards the end. As I said, if you hang on, because conversion part is an important part, and this is the bit that people are messing up on the social medias. But it starts with that awareness. You've got to get people's attention. And in today's world, attention spans are shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, meaning you've got a short window to get somebody's attention, and short form content is fantastic for that. Back in the day, I've done some training with somebody, and what I haven't got time to do is create these great YouTube. YouTube is the hardest one. So create these great YouTubes, do lives on Facebook, write these carousels out for social, for Instagram. You have to do different style content for different platforms. But since short form content got invented by TikTok, everybody's trying to compete with them. Mark Zuckerberg come out and said, this is the biggest threat to our business. And he basically turned Instagram into TikTok. Then even Larry and Sergey from Google have turned YouTube, well, not turned YouTube into it, but created shorts on there. And Mark Zuckerberg put shorts onto Facebook. Not since 2012 have we seen an opportunity to grow virally like we have today. So Facebook allowed us to grow virally in 2012 when Mark Zuckerberg was trying to get everybody onto Facebook and adopt them. Then you had to pay to play, and all the platforms have been hard to get viral reach. Then come along TikTok and shifted this on its head. Now, all of the platforms are vying for our attention, and they realise that attention is shorter, so they realise short form content works. So they've all copied TikTok to give some short form content. Short form content on its own is enough. One of the biggest excuses as well to start creating content as a creator or a business owner is, I've not got time, I don't put my face on the camera. You can do this without putting your face on the camera. You can do this within 10 minutes. The best post I've had in my business was something I created under 10 minutes with no fancy gadgets, no microphone, no fancy lighting, no equipment, just me recording it off my phone, and it got me tons and tons of business. And the great thing with that is I can repurpose that across each platform. As I was saying a minute ago, before you had to write content specific for each platform, I didn't do this. I was creating lives, and I was trying to put my lives from Facebook onto Instagram, onto YouTube. And what it done, it actually hurt my algorithms and restricted my channel, because I was telling them platforms that I was creating content that wasn't suited to what they wanted. But now they all want short form content. And what this will do is send people to your longer form if you've got it. But even if you've not got longer form content, this is still a fantastic platform. I've done this one short form content where I did not speak on it, and I got over £1 million worth of cash buyers in my inbox to sell deals to for my deal sourcing business. Next part of this is creating mistakes in your content. I actually stumbled across this by mistake, and then funny enough, I made a video that had a mistake in the auto correction because of my accent, which I get loads of grief about online. Because of my accent, the auto correction software made a mistake within that. And off the back of it, loads of people was engaging. Then I went to PeakPerformance, great networking event. If you've not been there before, make sure you check the guys out. I'll stick a link to PeakPerformance in the description. But I went to the PeakPerformance network event, and Luke Vernon was speaking there, and he talked about how he purposely puts in mistakes. So he will do a video and he'll talk about English, Irish, Scotland and Wales, and they put an American flag next to one of those, like next to Ireland, for example. And in the comments, that's not the right flag, blah, blah, blah. And it causes engagement. The algorithms see people are chatting within there, especially people argue, like on short form content, you'll get people arguing within the chat. Then that is absolutely super powerful for getting lots and lots more viral reach. I had a mistake on one of mine by mistake. So the auto correction, I said £7,500 £7,500 per month profit, and the auto correction picked that up as saying 7,500. So you don't own £7,500 of a property you bought for £56,000. And then people in the comments saying, listen to him, he didn't say that, and it sparked this whole thing. But also my answer to them was, play the video back, listen to it without watching, because you can clearly hear me say £7,500. But when you're watching the screen, you see the 1,000, it happens. And again, I've done another post like this where I was talking about the room rents, and I was saying £500. I don't even know where the K come from, but where I said 3,500K at the start, 355,000 K at the start, behind each room that I went in, it put a K behind the room. So it looked like 500K for one room, like whatever much the rooms was, I can't remember what it was, but this video here. The next hack to get super viral reach is polarization. And if you can do something that's polarizing, but authentically, don't be polarizing just to hack the algorithm. So look at Andrew Tate, he's polarizing on his views, but he authentically stands behind his views, and he's got substance behind his views as well. So don't just say something because you think it's going to get views and you're doing it unauthentically. But if you're polarizing for things that people don't agree, this will give you massive amounts of viral reach. So take the example of this video, again, the social housing video, because it's got HMOs and it's homing refugees. That is super polarizing. People say, you destroying the society, you are the problem with the housing, and it creates some polarizing views. And again, in the comments, people will argue on your behalf, and you can respond to these in a way that you can get engagement and push your reach out even more. I remember in the comments, one lady said to me, that didn't go to plan because that video had nearly 2 million views on it. It had, I think, 20 or even maybe 30,000 likes, but it had probably 1,000 people comment on it saying negative stuff. But that video really was like a rising tide will rise all ships. So that video really helped rise my whole Instagram platform. So one lady commented saying this didn't go to plan because I've got, I think, over 1,000 comments, which is negative, but I had over 20,000 people like this post. It gave me over 30,000 followers. Well, it helped me gain over 30,000 followers. And I said to her, no, it went exactly to plan. There's a small percentage of people that's negative, but then small percentage of people helped make this view go viral and put it in front of people that followed me, over 30,000 people that followed me, over 20,000 people that liked this post. And again, the great thing about that video is I repurposed it onto TikTok, which got me over 100,000 views on. I repurposed it onto YouTube Shorts, which got me over, I think, 4,000 views on. So again, one bit of content created once that took me less than 10 minutes, got me massive reach, but again, massive amount of people looking at what I'm doing in my business, which translated, when I've done this correctly, into more business in my business, which is what we're all after in most cases. So that question, deal sourcing really is the fastest way that you're going to get into property, build your own portfolio and create income and replace your job if you want to, or even as a side hustle. There's 3 different ways of deal sourcing. So the side hustle deal sourcing, this is where everybody should start, because the hardest thing you do as a deal sourcer, or the hardest thing to do, is finding investors. As we explained, is how you find them, but it takes effort and time. You can't click your fingers, do one reel, and you've got tons of investors. So being a side hustle deal sourcer is when you co-source with somebody else. The next level of that is being a full-time deal sourcer. So if you side hustle deal source, document what you're doing from that. That will then start getting your own investors. But the reality with that is it takes a lot more work. Not everybody should be a full-time deal sourcer. I've been a full-time deal sourcer since 2015, and I promise you it is a challenging business. So it's not for everybody, but it is for the right people. And then the final one, this is the place where you want to be. This is what I'm starting to do, is deal sourcing arbitrage. This is where you sit in the middle, where you have built up your platform, you built up your credibility, you can find lots of investors, then you partner with lots of sources and you put the investors to the sources. That is the best place to be, in my opinion. It's the most least friction, but it's the longest path to it. It takes you more work to get there, but the rewards are better at the end. Then you take all this income and you put it into your own strategies. If you want to learn more about different strategies and which are the best strategies for you, make sure you watch this video. And listen, my wife's live on my terms. My mission is that as many people live on their terms, using property as a vehicle to do that. So please, if you've not done it already, please hit that like button, the subscribe button really helps the channel. Please put the notification on and share this to somebody. Put in the comments below, have you considered deal sourcing? Are you going to deal source? Do you do this? Have you ever thought or heard of side hustle deal sourcing? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But remember, if you do not evolve your ideas, you will not live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms, and have an amazing day. And this is the next video that YouTube is going to suggest for you.